Have you ever felt like you didn't know where to start a project, or that everyone else's art just seems to magically happen and it takes no effort? In this video to help you get started on your creative adventure. So let me help you get started. The first thing you're going to do is to think of something that resonates with you recently. Something you read, something that you have seen, some music that you've heard connected to some sort of a memory or meaning that is important to you. For example, so recently I reread a book from Franz Kafka called Metamorphosis. And in this book, the character Gregor turns into a beetle. For me, that started me thinking about when I was a child and I would carve these little wooden boats and I would put ladybugs in them and then send them down the river in these boats and then run along the shoreline to see how many of those little ladybugs were left in the boat. Putting those two things together, the reading, the literature, and my own experience, that started the idea. So you can start that way. Think of something, write something down in your sketchbook that you are experiencing, that you've read, or that you've heard. That's step one. Then from there, you're going to put your research hat on and you're going to look up whatever the words are that are resonating with you. For me, it was the boat or vessel. And then I looked up all of the things that be used as a meaning for vessel. And then the next thing, ladybugs. I looked at the nursery rhyme. Look at all of those things and make annotations and write things down and research some things about the words or the things that started to have meaning for you. The next thing you're going to do then is thumbnail sketches in your sketchbook with those ideas and how you combine those. It's time to get in the studio. So at a certain point, you have to just take what you've now put into your brain and now it's going to come out. In the studio, I like to think of paraphrasing John Cage's quote, where he said that when you go in the studio, all of these other people are with you, all of these other artists and all of these other intentions, fears, and so forth. But once you start making art, all of those things slowly go away. It takes a little bit of time, so you have to fight your inner critic. But once you start making and you start really getting into that art form that you're working in, then those things leave. And like John Cage says at the end, and if you're lucky, even you leave. Your artwork starts taking on its own direction. You have to let your art become the thing it just becomes, and don't hold too tight to your sketchbook and to your research. Let it develop and become the piece that it wants to be. All right, so your takeaways are, I'm Suzette Morrow, I'm your art guide on the side, and I will see you in the next video.